Hey everyone, this is Peter Virag here. For those who don't know me, I am primarily a nature photographer. I specialize in aerial photography and I'm extremely fond of wildlife as well. Today we're gonna look at some of my most recent shots. This morning I managed to take a series of images of juvenile crimson Rosellas just nearby, near Gardeners Creek Trail. So without further ado, let's jump into the shots. Some of the images that I'm going to show you here are nothing special, but I still decided to keep them because I wanted to look at certain features of the bird. I wanted to keep certain frames that show the bird from a different angle, different perspective. Here you can see one, as I said before, a juvenile crimson rosella just perched on a tree branch, and I was just absolutely amazed by the abundance of colors of its plumage. Let's jump to the next one. Oh, I've been trying to capture them in flight, but usually so far I've only been able to capture a few shots as they were flying in between branches, and it's extremely hard if you don't pre-focus or if you don't use just one single autofocus point on them, as they prefer the dense vegetation. So at least I got one shot as it was taking off from a branch with, I'm not sure, the ISO was about 2500. The focus is it's almost right, but as I said, you gotta react so quickly, and it can be extremely difficult to come up with a shot that's decent, and the light has to be perfect as well. I still kept this one just because of how cool these tail feathers looked, and also the blue in these feathers on its wing. It's just beautiful. Let's go to the next one. So here you can see a little bit more. It's facing us. The bird has a bit of catchlight in its eye. Must have been bathing. You can see its plumage, it's quite wet on the front, so it's cute. At least there weren't too many branches, distracting branches in this frame, so I decided to keep this one. Let's go to the next one. This one was taken just after it took off. Focus is a little bit off, but as I said before, I find it so difficult to capture these, especially with the 100-400mm lens, which only has one, I believe, only one dual AF or dual cross-type autofocus point. So it struggles, especially with birds that are flying towards the camera. I use one autofocus point here as well. At least I got 2 shots in flight, so should be happy with that. This one is actually, oh, I got a third one. I mean, this one was in complete darkness, so I had to recover shadow detail, a ton of shadow detail, probably 100% in this one, and increase the exposure as well. But I really like the pose, and these feathers looked awesome with the backlighting. I mean, obviously the detail in the feathers is not much, but the silhouette looks pretty good. So let's jump to the next one. Here I managed to capture again a juvenile. It's just gnawing at a tiny little twig, smacking around. I probably underexposed this shot a bit. I think I had to. I was expecting it to fly and up the ISO as well. Anyway, let's get to the next shot. This one was perched on a cyclone fence approximately 2 meters away from me, so I was just amazed that it didn't fly away. Stayed there for about 30 seconds or so, and the amount of detail that some of these images have is just crazy. I never expected this to happen, so I was quite happy with the results. Let's go through these. So here it just changed its position to the other side. You can actually see me as well, I believe. If I zoom in, then you can see my reflection here in its eye. I was, as I said, 2 meters away. I shot all of these at the with the 100 to 400 millimeter lens, zoom lens. Isn't it cute? I mean, come on. And the background is beautiful as well, just unified. Oh my god, I love this species, so beautiful. I had not seen any juveniles for quite some time. And most of the parrot species are either rainbow lorikeets in our area, and sometimes you can spot musk lorikeets and eastern rosellas. And last year I managed to take a few shots a number of times of king parrots. But this is actually the first time that I've seen this many juvenile rosellas. This must have been a family, I believe, because I saw at least 4 or 5 juveniles and fully mature, probably their mother as well at the end as I was just walking home. I'll show you those shots. So this is the same. It was just walking along the fence here. It's funny. Here you can see just lifted one of its foot. So cute, adorable. They're so gorgeous. I can't believe how many different shades of olive greens and teals and crimsons and blues, and it's just unreal. This is one of my favorite shots. Again, the detail is just unreal, considering it's only a 20 megapixel camera, so I just love it. So gorgeous. It was eating blackberries, I forgot to tell you. So I took about 40 or 50 images. All of these shots were taken through a cyclone fence, so I had to hold the lens pretty close just to blur out, you know, the foreground as much as possible. It's unreal. I mean, look at those claws. Crazy. Yeah, you can actually see. I didn't even notice. Check this. I'm gonna zoom in. You can see the blackberry as it's holding in its claws. I love them. Next one. Okay, I'm gonna go through these a little bit faster. The focus was not as good. First, I tried to lower the shutter speed as much as possible because the light kept changing. For certain frames I had plenty of or decent amount of sunlight, but then became overcast, so just kept changing every half a minute. Luckily it stayed there for at least 3-4 minutes, so I took close to 100 shots and I kept 20 or so, 25 overall. It's beautiful. It's just, oh, I'm so excited because luckily I'll be able to print some of these because it's pretty high resolution. Alrighty, so it's similar. This is my favorite shot, probably one of my favorite shots. I just love its pose, and the composition is great. I really love this diagonal line of the it's not a branch, whatever this is, this stem of the blackberry bush, and the way it's hanging onto it. You can see that it has already consumed the blackberry. Only the dry parts are left that are just dangling out of its beak. It's crazy. I mean, oh, these feathers are just stunning, aren't they? So let's go to the next one. Here you can see it from another angle. The focus was not perfect. Probably focused a little bit on its back instead of the eye, but it's extremely hard to focus even with just one focus point when it is that close. As I said, it was approximately 2 meters away from me, and at 400 millimeters, if the focus is off just a tiny bit, then I mean the focus is gonna be off. This one is cool as well. Yeah, the focus is not perfect, but I really like the pose. Next one, yeah, still eating. Here it's just looking at me. It's cute. Yeah, the focus is perfect here on the nearest eye. Yeah, that's good. So let's go to the next one. This is so cool. I really love the way you can see that the foot was holding the blackberry. looks like a palm. Funny. Next one. Yeah, the focus is nice here as well. So I kept a lot of these shots. Yeah, this one is quite detailed. I mean, you can see I zoom in and it's just magnificent, gorgeous. Yeah, this one was one of the last shots I think of the series. This one is the most detailed, I believe. Yep, definitely. This was approximately taken a meter and a half away. The minimum focusing distance of that lens is 0.93 or something like that, close to a meter. So I'm really happy with this shot. It's just unreal. And this one was taken off the mature crimson Rosella, as I said before, probably their mother. The plumage is fully developed. These scale-like feathers look amazing, in my opinion. It just looks so cool. I really like the light hitting just a small part of its back. Then it turned around. Here I had to recover 100% of shadow detail, as it was completely in the shadow. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too high, so I couldn't get a more. I mean, ideally, I would have been at eye level with the bird, but I couldn't climb anywhere else. Next one. I mean, it's just so beautiful. Look at that. Unreal. Those colors are just stunning, absolutely stunning. That's another one. The catch light was pretty cool. And then the last one is that I really like. I actually decided to crop this. The final crop is more vertical, and I placed it close to the center of the frame. And I just really love these. These are not underexposed. I mean, I'm exposing for the brightest part, which is obviously the beak of the bird, and it just gives so much punch to the colors. These kind of shots where, you know, parts of the bird is in the shadow or in the shade, and the light is hitting it from the right angle. It's just so beautiful, crazy. It's just super happy with these overall. So this was the last shot. If you enjoyed this video, please support me by subscribing and hitting the like button, and leave any comments, feedback. As always, it's appreciated. Thanks guys, see ya.